What's going on, mothers? My name is Alicia Askew, host of the Purpose Driven Mother podcast, where mothers are imperfectly perfect and thriving on their purpose-driven journey. Hear from the most courageous and inspiring mothers of today who are striving to pave the road ahead, reach new heights, and share their greatest lessons so that you can walk powerfully on your purpose-driven journey. So stay tuned to unleash that drive that you need to thrive while becoming the truly amazing woman you are designed to be. Hey, what's going on? My name is Alicia, host of the Purpose Driven Mother podcast, and I am so delighted that you decided to stop by today and join me on this Purpose Driven podcast. So I wanted to do something a little different because I received an email or letter, however you want to say it, and I'm so excited because it's my very first one of someone addressing me for advice or just input. So I'm going to read what it says. It says, "Dear Purpose-Driven Mother, I want to thank you for all of the inspiring messages that you share on your Facebook page through this podcast. Thank you very much. I am a mother who has a dream. I know that I have a purpose, but as I try to take action toward fulfilling what is in me, I feel like I get stuck. In the steps where I'm supposed to be moving forward, I'm moving backwards. How many people feel like that? Instead of accepting speaking engagements, I find some way to turn them down. Instead of writing in my book, my family finds some way to demand my time. I am too tired to think, excuse me, instead of learning what it takes to master my craft, I am often too tired to think, so I just pick up a fictional book or I watch TV. Please advise on what you can do or what I can do to help me on this purpose-driven journey. Love you so much. Thank you." Okay, and that was from an anonymous writer, and I just want to thank you so much for reaching out to me because this is something that many women, even people in general, go through during their life, whether they're in their profession, whether they're trying to pursue their dreams, they're trying to learn a new hobby. There's always something that kind of paralyzes us and makes us feel stuck in the process. And I would like to say that the culprit of that are two things. It is fear and it is self-doubt. And so fear and self-doubt can be a real bee, can't they? Because we feel like we know that we're capable of doing something, but then we start second guessing ourselves, second guessing what we are supposed to do. And then we kind of get back into a little corner and be like, okay, you know what? I don't think I can do it. I'm just going to turn back around. And that's probably one of the worst things that you can do on any journey that you are trying to achieve is to turn back around and go back to where you came from. Because when you allow doubt to step in and to take control of you moving forward, that means that you are choosing misery over joy. That means that you are choosing imprisonment over freedom. And that also means that you are deciding to just stick with what you know and not go to the land of where it is endless of possibilities and opportunities for you. And so I had done a video a few months ago on fear. So it's probably been a while since you've heard me even talk about fear, but this is now the perfect time for me to bring it back up again. Because a few months ago, I was just launching my business and I was, taking the steps that I needed to go about making this into a thriving business that it is. And so now today I can look back over what I have overcame, all the many hurdles and obstacles that I have went through because I did not let fear stop me. And how that I was able to overcome that fear is that I learned how to embrace the fear. So I didn't let fear be some kind of big bully and kind of push me and boss me around, But I learned to work with fear and use that as a tool to fuel me in moving forward. So, with embracing fear and knowing that you are already a conqueror, that is where it starts. When you start believing in yourself, it is going to be amazing at where you will be able to go just by simply believing in yourself. And that's what it took for me because I didn't know anything about starting a business. All I knew was how to work at a job, how to follow orders, clock in, clock out, receive that paycheck on Friday that still really didn't pay the bills, and then go back to work on Monday feeling miserable and feeling like I couldn't even make it through the end of the week because I was just that devastated with the work environment that I was in. And so just allowing myself to have faith in me, have faith in my plan, have faith in God, and aligning all three of those things together and just moving forward purposefully, I was able to lean into that fear and overcome things that I never thought that I would have been able to overcome if I didn't believe in myself. And then, so we had talked about fear, embracing it, knowing that you are already a conqueror. And then at the end of the day, the important thing is once you lean into that fear and you go after it, no matter what happens, you have already won. So let me repeat that again. As long as you lean into the fear and you go after it, no matter what happens, you have already won. So that is the beauty about life is it was created for us to be spontaneous or to do things outside of our comfort zone, to try something new, to expand and maximize and fulfill that potential that is within us. That's why we're supposed to dream big. That's why we're supposed to have think outside the box, think where there is no box. Because when we start doing things that are unimaginable, that are impossible, unthinkable, then that is when our greatest potential is maximized and reached. So, like I said, you have already won as long as you go after it. And so I had touched on fear and we had mentioned self doubt. So, let me bring up self doubt because self doubt is what feeds that fear. And so, your fear can be just something so small. Oh, I'm not going to do it because I talk too soft. And then so that self doubt in your head is going to keep feeding that fear and make it a ferocious, abominable depiction of something that was once small, now that is so huge that you really just back yourself down and just be like, forget it. It's not even worth it because what I might have to go through to unbreak that hurdle, that barrier, that wall that stands against me in my dream is what is going to end up killing me. And that's not even the case. But because we let that nag, that negative chatter feed into the fear, it has become that. So self doubt is huge in itself. And that is why I created an e course just around the overcoming of self doubt so that you can learn how to self empower yourself and get your spark back and be unstoppable, be fearless. And I just want to touch on it just a little bit because I did a whole mini e course on it that has strategies set up so that you can overcome this thing. But I want to just go into it a little bit for the sake of this letter. So she said a few things that I want to point out really quick. Okay, so she said, I feel like I get stuck. And where I'm supposed to be taking steps forward, I am taking steps backwards. So that already sounds like she knows that she wants to go forward, but instead she keeps looking back to where there's a security net, a safety net, a comfort zone, because that is her element. And so when you do go back into what is known and what is safe, even though it's not even comfortable because you are miserable in that environment that you're living in, that just means that you are just learning to settle with the uneasiness of life. Life was meant to be vibrant and passionate and abundant, not blue and dull and miserable. And if there is any way that I am seeing blue in my life, then I want it to be because I am looking up at the sky and seeing the amazing beauty that God has created this world to be. And so she also said, instead of accepting speaking engagements, I find some way to turn them down. And at one time, that was me to a certain extent because I have moved into also being a motivational speaker. And there were opportunities where I was presented with the possibility or with the opportunity of speaking at a homeless shelter or at a school for motivating women or moms. But the thing was, I would try to find some way to to make sorry, I would try to find some way to make everything a catastrophe so that it wouldn't have to happen. And in doing that, I pretty much was setting myself up for failure because I wasn't even going after it. I was just putting the brakes on it, putting it at a halt before I was able to even go into it. And so I finally mustered up the courage and knowing that I was a powerful, strong speaker and knowing that speaking is in my blood, I decided to take the opportunity to go out to these places and to make a difference in the lives because I seen how what I was doing, there was a purpose aligned with it. And so I believed in what I was doing. I believed in my message that I was sharing. And I knew that even if I only touched one person with one thing that I said, then that was a job well done. And then so also she said, instead of writing in my book, my family finds some way to demand my time. And we are so big in family coming in and being I'm not going to say a distraction, but because we are nurturers, we want to make sure that we are giving our family our time, our energy, our love, just all of those nurturing tendencies. But the thing is, when you keep giving to your family and you're not giving to yourself, then where does that leave you at the end of the day? Because you're still not being fulfilled personally. You have personal goals. You are an individual. When you came into this world, you were a individual first, and then everything else came. And so that's why you have to make sure that you are making yourself a priority and going after the things that you want and get your family on board. Create that support system that can help you to propel and to thrive on your purpose driven journey. Just set up some time. One of the easiest ways to do this is allowing your family to know that there is some time in the day that you have to allot for yourself and for your dreams because 2 or 3 years down the road they are going to so much thank you for being mom. I thank you for going after your dreams because now I see the fruition of it. But also let them know how important this dream is to you. Help them to see the dream, even though they're not going to see it on the same level that you can see it, because you're the only one that can view, vision, love your dream as you would. But help them to see the purpose that you are trying to fulfill. And know that this is a sacrifice that you are going to have to take. And it's not by any means of taking away from them, but it's more so of helping them to understand that they too need a dream because it is that important in life to that you're going after something that's greater than just what you see right in front of you. So definitely get your family on board and let them know that there is some time in the day that you have to allot for yourself in order to go after that great desire that is within you. And then lastly, instead of learning what it takes to master my craft, I pick up a fictional book or watch TV. And so both of those things, allowing your family to demand your time and then doing things other than what you know that you should be doing. Picking up a book, going to work out even though you already worked out today, watching TV, all of those things are pretty much distractions. Um, I'm trying to think of the better word for it, but are pretty much tools of procrastination, tools to help hinder the dream from moving forward. And so we so easily do that to ourselves because of the fear and of the self doubt, the disbelief. And so we will do something else in order to stall until we think that we are ready, until we feel that we are ready, until we believe that we are ready. But listen, if we keep thinking and waiting until we feel like we are ready, we are never going to be ready. Life was designed around uncertainty and the unknown. All of these inventions, all of the things that we see and use in our everyday life, they all started from somebody having this idea out of thin air. Okay, let me try to make something to produce some light so that at night it won't be dark. Let me try to produce something so that I can not have to walk or ride a horse, but I can get there twice as fast. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just know that I want to do it. Let me think of something to where I can enhance my beauty by clearing up the blemishes on my face. I don't know how to do that, but I just know that I just want my face to be a little bit more clear, so I'm going to do something to make that happen. Everything started out of visibility of our mind. Uncertainty and the unknown is an uncomfortable journey. I get that. Life is an uncomfortable journey. But the thing is, when you have a dream and you can envision that dream, it brings clarity to your path, to your walk, to your journey. But when you add in that doubt, that is when it disrupts your vision and you start going off track. And so the only person that needs to believe in you is you. Some days may feel like a slow and never ending journey. And that is because to match the greatness that is within you, plus the dreams and the purpose that are designed for you, you have to go through the process of being molded and sculpted and transformed and challenged and evolved so that you can make that impact and that difference that you were destined to be as a woman that you were destined to be. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I got just a little emotional there because from reading this letter, it just brought so much excitement and joy to me because knowing that I'm on my purpose driven journey and knowing that someone is listening and is leaning to me for advice, that just, that really brought joy to my day because I know that I am doing this for not for me, but for all of the women who are out there, for you. And so, also reading that letter, it also just reminded me of where I was a few years ago. And even still today, sometimes I feel like I get stuck in a halt or standstill because my dreams are just that big, that ferocious and scary, that going forward, of course, is the only option that I have because I'm definitely not going back. But all it takes is just that inkling, that ounce of faith and belief in yourself that I am able to do all things possible, no matter what. It is just the reason why I just get so excited and got a little intense there with that letter. But definitely, I want to hear your thoughts, listeners, on ways that we can empower one another when we're feeling stuck, when we're feeling like we want to take a detour or a U-turn in life because of the self-doubt and the fear that keeps coming up in our life. How do you handle those things? And how are you able to move past them so that you can be fearless and unstoppable? And so don't forget to check out and subscribe to the mini e-course, Shine Bright, Bold, and Beautiful, so that you can overcome your self-doubt and overflow in self-empowerment. I guarantee once you take this e-course, you are just going to be able to tackle and attack. You are going to be able to tackle and attack your hurdles, your fears, and your dreams in a whole new light. All right, mothers, so until next time, stay radiant and let your light shine.